Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm super excited to be live. I feel like I haven't been live in like 6 months. I'm excited. We have some really good things. So let me know if you can see and hear me. And we will get started as soon as a few more people come on. It just turned 6 o'clock Central. I'm actually in Florida, so it's 7 o'clock here. So we're in the Eastern time zone for this live. So we're in Florida. We came here to visit our daughter who works for Disney World. So it had been 6 whole months since we had seen her. So very happy to have spent the last, I don't know, week or so with her. I think Matt's.
The best part.
So I think Matt's about to send the text out to alert people that I'm live now. And then we can get started. So you can see and hear me. Hi, Kim. How are you? From Hershey, Pennsylvania. I have been there. Yes, that is a very dangerous place to live for me because, you know, I'm totally 1000% chocolate eater. Hi, Zamora. How are you? Good job. Oh, good. Oh, yes, so good. And then I think when you do the Hershey tour and we were on a golf cart, they actually gave us cold chocolates. So it was even better. Even better at that. So I know we always talk about the weather while we're waiting for people. The weather has been phenomenal here in Orlando, Kissimmee, Davenport. For the last 2 days, the wind has been blowing. The pool feels great. Yes. Good, Zamora. I'm glad you're doing well. So this month, we have a bunch of alcoholic and even when they could be lemonade shakers. Now, this kit was actually released a year and a half ago. And when we release a kit, we always release it at a phenomenal price because when we release it, we don't sell it to our wholesalers. So we can give you guys a great price on when we curate a kit. So this kit, or this new release, we waited this long because we wanted to make sure our people who purchased our kits had enough time to enjoy theirs, and they felt like they, had gotten a lot of exclusivity. So these are really, really fun shakers, and I know we do a lot of shakers, but I just feel like shakers are never going to go out of style. If you're a shaker maker, you're there, right? You're not going anywhere. So I have cards on top that I want to show you. So this is a card that I made a year and a half ago. It is a slimline card when the kit came out. So I made it into a lemonade, and it has little lemons in it, and it has yellow diamonds and ice cubes. And I'll show you what all the dies say. But do you see this stamp right here that says Paper Prayers Headed Your Way? And this one that says, we might be far apart in distance, but never in my heart, right? Those two sentiments, you can only get them for free. You can't buy this stamp set at all. You can only get it free this month. So this has never been released. It was part of the kit. This is actually mine that I use, so it's not, you're not going to be able to read it too great. But this is your free gift for this month for spending $50 at PFS website, and then free shipping at $60. So this is the one that says Paper Hugs, and it's a 3x4, and it does come with 3 little sentiments and a sweet little pineapple. So it goes with this, but also Paper Hugs Headed Your Way, and then it also talks about distance being far apart. So it's not just about cocktails. It's a good, a good all around sentiment. So this is the free gift. You cannot purchase this. It is not for sale. It is only for people who spend $50 on their website until supplies run out. Okay, so this is a card that Sarah made. And this is the pineapple shaker. I also created some sentiments that go with these shakers. So if you do have the kit, you will not have this. This is the sentiment set that I created for this release. And Kim, there are no dies that go with this little 3x4. No, there's no dies. And here you can see Sarah used some of our April release to create her little beach. Isn't that fun? All right. And then, so I showed you my lemonade. My daughter said that this also could be for moonshine. Like if you wanted to do some kind of, I don't know what moonshine color is. I don't know. But she said that this kind of jar, since it was like a mason jar, would be good for a moonshine card if you were sending it that. Or iced tea would be good also. And then this is another card that I wanted to show you guys because I actually made this card with the, the leftover pieces from when I die cut to turn this into a shaker. So what you see is this is the base of the shaker die. And then I die cut the inner part out of it. But instead of throwing that inner part away, I popped it up with foam and I used it as if it was a whole nother die on top. So this die right here, I'm going to show you. This could be for wine. It could be for some kind of cocktail. Sydney just was drinking a margarita at a restaurant a little while ago, and I was like, oh, I've never seen a margarita served in that kind of glass. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you that these dies are extremely versatile. They can do lots of different things. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on our new release. I do have this white paper here because I wanted to show you, look at these are all the shakers that I made with when it was a kit a year and a half ago that I never turned into cards because it was so much fun making them that I just kept making them over and over and over. And I ended up, I literally just pulled all these out from a year and a half ago. And I will go back and show you guys more of these, but I just wanted to give you a little taste of how fun these dies are. So this is a fun release. I'm not going to tease you anymore because I know everyone is waiting to see the white paper pouncers, right? I know. Ever since we released the paper pouncers, the first two sets in March, we have been asked and told, sometimes nicely, sometimes not so nicely, that why did we come out with white? Well, you got to spread it out a little bit, right? So we have these are white paper pouncers. So and you get 3 in a set, and they're $12.99. So when you open your paper pouncer, it says Picket Fence Studio. We call this a pod. So the actual holder that the paper pouncer comes in, we call it a pod. Paper pouncer pod, just kind of cute, right? So when you open this up and you take out the paper pouncer, the sponge, your sponge head is white, and so is your base. So the entire thing of it is white. Your handle is coordinated with the pod, and then your sponge also is white. Okay, now I'm going to be honest with you. When we talked about releasing white, I really didn't. I was like, why would somebody want white? I mean, they're going to want the colors, At least I will want all the colors. Hi, Jen. So because of that, I'm just kind of like the full set syndrome girl. But embossing, guys, embossing with the paper pouncers is amazing. It really does the sponge does a good job, a fabulous job actually, of picking up the embossing ink and placing it exactly where you want it to be and going through a stencil is also amazing. So I don't have any embossing. Hello. I don't have any embossing powder with me, or I would demonstrate this for you. However, I will be going live again later this week when I'm home, and I will definitely show you that. So embossing, one use. Another use would be white pigments. So if you had a white pigment pad like Hero Arts, or I like the Hero Arts white ink, and one I really like is Maker Forte. Theirs is really juicy white, and it kind of has a little. It's not glittery, but it has a little shine to it. So this also could be one for your white pigments, right? Your white pigment ink, or even if you wanted to use it with oxide, the one that's called Picket. You could also use it. My dog wants something. Shh, go talk to Dad. Go, Matt. Sorry, guys. So you could also use it with the pigment and oxide. You can use those with the same sponge. So if you wanted to say one for pigment, and then the third one you could use for oxide if you wanted to, or you could just hold on to it until you're ready for another color. So let me show you what else we have. And you guys might have seen this because I could not wait. Okay, so Kim, let's talk about that. That's a really good question. So Kim's question is, can you wash out the pouncers? Yes, you can wash your pouncers with just plain water, because you only use paper pouncers with water-based ink. So you can always just use if you like a little bit of Dawn soap or and water. However, if you wet the pouncer, if you wet it, it grows. It doubles in size. Okay, and I'm gonna be honest, it takes about 3 days to dry. And that's why I'd say you might not want to wet them, because they do grow. And, it's kind of like our stamp scrubber. It looks so tiny. And then when you wet it, it just basically doubles. And that's the same thing with sponge. This is the top quality, highest technology that they have for sponges on the market right now. And so if you want to wash it, sure, you can wash it. But honestly, you don't need to, because it doesn't suck up a whole bunch of ink. So I don't have any with me, but if I was home, I could grab one of my paper pouncers that have been, sitting in this little pod for a few days. And that ink that's on that pouncer is completely dry. I mean, I might be able to get like a tiny little bit, but I have actually taken one that it was red. I had saturated it with red. It was like one of our first prototypes, because I wanted to test it. So I let it sit out, and then I dipped it into an old yellow ink pad. Because if you ask me, the two colors you can always test things with are yellow and red. Because yellow is like I don't know how to say that. I find it's a very wet color. And then red, red is just so difficult to clean and make an actual color with. So my head at the one at home was red, had red ink, and it had been in its pod for days. So I dipped it into a yellow, and I should show you guys this. I dipped it into a yellow ink pad, and then I just took it and pounced it on paper. And I promise you, there was no red that came out. That red was completely dry, because they will stain. I mean, we're using dye inks, dye, they're going to stain. So, honestly, I just close it up, put it back on the shelf, and I'm done with it. Now, if you wet this, you have to leave it sit out for days. Okay. It will shrink a little bit back, and I was able to get it back into the pod, okay, but it filled up. So I'm gonna hold it like this. You see how there's extra space around the sponge in the base of this? It filled up the entire thing. So, and it has never shrunk all the way back. However, let me give you a hint. If it's wet, don't put the top back on, because what's going to happen if you seal something wet inside of plastic, it's going to mold, right? And that's just the way the world works. Nothing we can do about that. So that's why I say don't wash them. You know, it's a tool and it's meant to be dirty. But if it bothers you, you know what I say? It comes with a pod. Stick it back in its pod and look, it's all clean. Just put it on your shelf or put it in your drawer and then you don't have to worry about it. It's all good. Okay, so there you go for that. So let me show you what we came out with. So after our first prototypes came out, you know, I was looking at them in my drawer and I wanted to be able to distinguish which ones were my oxides and which ones were for dye. Now, some people might choose to purchase a set for oxides and for dye. I'm not trying to push someone into buying two sets. I would never do that. However, real quick, if you put oxide ink inside your dye ink pads, you will not hurt the sponge. You will destroy your dye ink pads. So when I say this, I'm not trying to protect the pouncers. I'm trying to protect your expensive ink pads. And if you checked recently, I see there's a company that just released ink pads and they cost $10.50. So, you know, it's up to you. So we're the only ones that will be selling these stickers because that, you know, they're just so, oh, I gave you some, Amy. Yes, I did. So anyway, so this is what they're for. Okay, so I'm going to label these, no, I'm going to label one with oxide because I know that I will be using this with Picket Fence by Ranger. So look, I put just sticks on there and then I'm going to take another sticker and place it on top. And you know, as long as you center it, it doesn't really matter. There's no like real orientation to it. And voila, there you go. They're both labeled oxide. So you have, there you know. So there you go. And you won't, you know, they sit right there. Yes, guys, that's right. You have it labeled and you can stick it in your drawer and then you're all good. And then also for the dye one, now let me show you on a red. So here is a one from Rainbow and they work great on the rainbow ones, just like they do with the white. Now, we are coming out with these exact stickers that have white lettering. That way, you will be able to put one on top of your black and your brown and your purple. And then, of course, we have other colors coming out in a few months that are darker shades. Oops, sorry. That are other shades that you're also going to want these to be white. So we're going to have white stickers as well as the black ones. So that way we can label our things and not worry about it. All right, so let me go ahead and get started. So guys, 3-pack of pouncers, white pouncers. They come with 3 pods and the pouncer on the inside, right? And they're $12.99. And they are available on our website. I made sure that we held enough back for you guys because I did not want to, it was close. I had to tell them, nope, you have to keep X amount for our girls or guys that order off our website. So we do have these in stock, and so do a lot of your local stores as well as your online stores. So white paper pouncers, guys, your dream has come true. Okay, my dogs are barking. Sorry, there was no other way to do this except in the middle of the kitchen. And they're going to be barking. All right, so. All right, Matt's going to go find, Sydney's going to go find Matt. To see, to calm the dogs down. Okay, so let's get started with the stamps. All right, so we have a new addition to our Animal Crackers line, and it is themed, for good friends, but it's also themed for birthdays. So I wrote this little poem that says, "Birthday, birthday, we declare, will be fun, so take a dare to jump beside a hare, who's friends with a bear, while we all jump without care during a song about a birthday game you see that has come to be for you and me." So I love writing little fun poems that we can then take and put on our cards. So this does come with the die set. And I made sure, you see this stamp right here, guys? I made sure it was nice and thick for you. So this is really, really masked right here. So you are not going to have trouble placing these two critters and this jump rope down. It's going to fit and you're not going to have any trouble with your dies. All of these come with the die set except this one. When I priced it with this large one right here, it made the die costs go up too much. And, you know, basically this is a rectangle, right? So I knew you guys would like to save a little bit more money and just cut your rectangle out yourself. So this is the die set. So the die set has all the sentiments, the critters, except it doesn't have this large one, because you see how this already filled this up. It really would have bumped up the cost. And, you know, I'm always trying to save a buck. And, like I said, this is a rectangle. You know, we all know how to cut rectangles, right, guys? So this is called Animal Skipping Rope with Friends, and they are part of our animal cracker line. All right, so there's that. Then we also have some new kitty cats, which I'm going to admit, these kitty cats are not really PFS style. However, I like sometimes to test things out to see what you guys like, to see, you know, what sells and what doesn't. So this is a full, and guys, it's a 4x8. It's huge, okay? Is it 4x8 or 4x10? No, 4x8, okay? And it also has a little bit of a birthday theme, but it also has things like, you know, you're perfect for me, and it has a coordinating die, and everything is on this coordinating die. Yes. So you have tons of little kitty cats, and like this one's licking its paw, this one's taking a nap, this one's just looking straight ahead. It has a little milk and spilled milk, and the sentiments say, it's okay, we all feel me sometimes. Don't worry, even spilled milk can be cleaned up. So if you have someone who's, you know, feeling down or sad, that's a really cute sentiment that would go great with some little kitty cats. And then I even, see this? This is grass. This is a grass stamp, and it actually comes with the little grass die. So super, super fun. And this is called Perfect for Me. All right. And I'm going to do kitty cats. I'm going to do a seamless stamp. And guys, boy, did the design team hit this out of the park. So super cute. So this is a seamless stamp. And as you know, seamless stamps mean that it's 4x4, or it's almost 4x4, depending on, they call it 4x4, but it's actually not 4x4. Actually, no stamp, like this is called a 4x8, but the space that the stamps take is not 4x8. It's just what they call it. So this means that you stamp this, and then you can take your stamp or your paper and move it over and stamp it again in all 4 directions, right? We have tons and tons of videos on using seamless stamps. And I can tell you, I just got the new Altenew stamp wheel, which we will be stocking as soon as they come back in stock. I haven't gotten to play with the seamless stamps yet, but on the stamp wheel by Altenew, but I'm really wondering how awesome it's going to be with the seamless stamps. Anyway, so this is called Are You Kiddin'? Thought that was cute. Okay. And we still have more. So I'm going to show you some dies first. So we at PFS were super excited when I came out with these. They are called Scene Building Grass Tufts die. So these are all little bitty, or not, they're really, well, some are large and some are bigger, but these are like all little pieces of grass that you can just cut out for any scene. Because, you know, sometimes you have a piece of grass that's this big, and then sometimes you need a teeny tiny little piece of grass. So I gave you 3 larger pieces, and then these teeny tiny little bitty pieces. Let me see if Sarah used it. Yes, she did. So here's one card that Sarah did. She used the animal crackers kind friends. And then if you see right here, she used the grass tufts behind it. And then behind that, behind this fence, she used this, which is called A2 tall grass. And you know how we have the slimline tall grass, and I'm obsessed with it. And oh, Denise, we have tons of. I love grass as well. I'm so sorry. I enjoy using grass on my cards, is what I should say. I'm going to get kicked off of the social media. So this is based off of our slimline tall grass. I made a slimline one. Excuse me, an A2 size. And the bottom of it does not cut, which means you can cut this into as many layers as you want. And the length of the distance of where the grass starts and the end is up to you. So if you want to make this cut where it's 4 inches long, you can do that. You want to cut it 2 inches long, it's up to you. Because I can't believe I said that. So you decide how long or how tall or how long, either way, your grass is going to be on your card. Now, last month we came out with it was a grassy hill die. They were supposed to be released at the same time, but sometimes things happen, okay? The grassy hill die fits this. So the tufts, the grass tufts, the tall A2 tall grass, and the grassy hill all go together. And there's a bundle on the website because I was asked, why are you putting last month's product in a bundle for this month? And I'm like, because they need all three. They go together and they're going to want them. I can't wait to design with these. I'm going to be honest with you. I love to use grass on my cards. Now, the little fence, I'm going to tell you, do you see this little fence? This right here is what she did is last month we came out with a slimline die that was called oval fence inserts, and it's actually a slimline. However, the fence of it is so large that all she did was she die cut the fence and then she just chopped the fence apart and it turned into an A2 size. We're always trying. We're always trying to make things stretch here at PFS because we want you guys to have the best value. Okay, now let's move on to this beauty. All right. This is called Million Little Things, and it is a 4x12. Okay, so it's a huge stamp. Is it 4x12 or is it 4x10? Hold on. I keep saying, let me see. Oh yeah, it's a 4x12. So it's going to be a little bit pricier. However, this flower is just so gorgeous. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sentiments. That's a lot for one stamp. And guess what? It has dies. Yep, it has dies for every single sentiment and that huge flower. And I don't come out with dies very often for large flowers because I feel like most of the time people color them and they don't really die cut them. But this one is so intricate that dot fussing it just would not be an option. So I did come out with the coordinating die. Guys, let me show you Sarah's card. Okay. And let me say, you know why I always have Sarah's cards whenever I'm doing a live? Sarah's our design team leader. And well, that's not her only job. She works for me full time. So because she's my design team leader, she lives in Idaho and I live in Louisiana. So there's time for her to do her cards and then mail them to me. So she's generous every month for sending me her cards. Look at this. I mean, the detail. This is no line coloring and it's pencil color. I can't do this. Sarah can do this. Do you see that? Look at that. And guys, you can do this. Well, I can't do it pencil colors, but what you see, all of these shadows that Sarah used her pencil colors with, all those shadows are on the stamp. I give you those shadows, okay? So you can see that when you stamp this, you're going to get all of these lines that Sarah drew back in. Actually, she didn't draw them all back in. She just drew some of them in. You're going to have, this is going to stamp out on your card. So I'm giving you your shadows. So a lot of times I'll hear people say, oh, that stamp has too much black in it. Not really, because all that black shows you where to put your shadows. That's where the heaviest darkest spot is on my stamps like this. That's where you put your shadows. And a lot of times I don't even worry about shadows when I'm coloring. We're making cards. But if you do like to, worry about your shadows, I give them to you when I do the designing. Okay, so this is called A Million Little Things, and it looks like Sarah used her, she turned it to a shaker card, and look how great that fits on an A2. Perfect. It is a great card. And if you don't do slimline, you could cut this in half. Look at that. You could just die cut this and then take it and cut it across right here and have it coming up and make it an A2 card. I know, right, Denise? I don't do, I wish I could. No line takes a lot of patience. I don't have that, but it's beautiful. But you can turn this, actually, if you colored it, you could cut it in half and make 2 cards, right? It's a good idea. So this is called A Million Little Things. All right, now, oh wait, I didn't show you guys her kitty cat card. Look at this. Sarah told me she opened her box and immediately made this card. She's like, I was about to go to the grocery store and then I saw this and like, nope, I'm going to make a card. And if you see, she used the Are You Kitten 4x4 stamp in the background in light gray. Isn't that cute? Yes. And we're doing a collaboration with Wow. So they sent all of us brand new embossing pads. Guys, if your embossing is not coming out right, it's because you need a new pad. That's why. Do you see how perfect that is? I was like, Sarah, how did you get it that perfect? That's how. She was using a brand new embossing pad. You can never, I don't even try to get white. But you know what? Now that I have a brand new embossing pad, I'm going to be trying that. So this is so cute. Mini slimline. Okay. Now let's get down to business, right? Let's talk about the shakers because I know that's what everyone's waiting for. Okay. So we have a second seamless stamp this month, and it is called A Nice Cold One. And if my friend Dawn is watching, this was her request. She wanted a beer bottle seamless stamp. Whenever a year and a half ago we came out with the kit, she's like, Nicole, please make me a 4x4 seamless stamp with beer bottles. There you go. This was Dawn's idea. So remember, seamless, you stamp it and then can move it in all 4 directions. So we have beer bottles. Sarah, she did make a card with beer bottles. So cute. And here it is. So this is Sarah's card with the beer bottles. So it looks like she stamped it in, she's going to tell me in the back, gray ink. And then she just went in and did some highlighting with white and lime green pencils. And then embossed this in silver. And again, look at that. That is Wow's brand. That's a brand new Wow embossing pad, and that's a new Wow color that they've released recently. So we're going to be doing we're doing a collaboration with them. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? So if you have issues with embossing, go buy a new pad. Victoria, if you go look on our YouTube channel, we have a whole bunch of videos that talk about seamless stamping, and they give you ideas. You can do it. You can use this like transparency trick. If you're really good at eyeballing something, you don't even need a transparency. But go look on our YouTube channel, which is PF Stamps. Is it Picket Studios or PF Stamps? PF Stamps. Okay. Our website is PF Stamps. YouTube is Picket Studios. So there you go. All right. Now let's talk about the shakers. Okay. First, we have a pineapple, and I called it Tropical Pineapple Shaker Die. Now, this shaker right here doesn't come with an outside shadow because you really don't need it. After it just wasn't something that it almost doubled the cost of the die. So I chose not to put an outline around this pineapple one. And if you see, Sarah had no trouble turning it. Where's her card? Turning this pineapple die into a shaker. None whatsoever. So you can do it without it. So I chose not to make an outline die for this one because it was double the price. So I was like, no, we're good. So this is Tropical Pineapple Shaker card. Okay. And what's great about these? They can be non-alcoholic, right? Here we have what I call Whiskey Drink Shaker card. Now, I'm going to be honest. I was thinking of a Bloody Mary when I did this one. So you have celery. This could be a piece of whatever herb they put in your drinks. Or what about Long Island iced tea, where I put a little cherry in here. So that way, if you wanted to make a Long Island iced tea or a Manhattan or any type of, alcohol based drink. And all of these pieces fit all of the dies. Okay. So if you wanted to use this pineapple here, it is sized to be used for this and here. Notice here, I gave you a smaller straw and it's bent. And then you have a little pineapple. And then a little umbrella that they put in your drinks. So everything, even though it might not be with that particular shaker, if you want to use this cherry with this one, they're all sized to be used together. Okay. And this one does have the outer as well as the inner. So I do have these sitting here because I had them already cut out. So let me show you. So the lemonade one, wait, I didn't show you that one. So this is what the pineapple one looks like once it's cut out. So once you turn this over and you put foam around it, you see you didn't need an outline for it because it has plenty of space to put foam and then put your, turn it to a shaker. All right. Denise, you know what you need to do if your shaker cards and the sequins get stuck? Take your embossing tool, like that powder tool, and run it along the inside edges of the foam. You could even just take your finger and dip it in like baby powder and just take the sticky off the side of your foam before you put your backing on it, and you won't have it stick. You just need to unstick that. You just need to unstick the stickiness. All right. So here you can see you can use it for a glass, or you can insert the die that turns it to a shaker. So whichever way you like. And then you have some ice cubes. And this could be an orange or a lime or grapefruit, whatever you want. Now we have my favorite, which is a margarita. It's very difficult for me to turn one down. However, you can also use this for a champagne glass if you like, because if you just choose not to create it into a shaker, it could easily be a champagne glass. I did a whole bunch of really fun things, and this says margarita, and it has a shadow. Here it could be a lemon, a lime, an orange, and the same thing with this. I just made them different sizes, so that way we could have a lot of versatility. So let me show you what I did with these. Okay, so remember, I have all of this that I made a year and a half ago that have literally been sitting, waiting for me to show them to you. Okay, so let me show you a couple of things. Okay, so here is what the margarita looks like. Okay, so you can see on the, I wanted a Cosmopolitan for this. So I put some pink and some little limes in there. And then across the top, this is what I called, you could either use it as salt or you could use it as sugar. They're little tiny little, oh, you know about it. There you go. Just big enough to look like salt or sugar. So one of the releases this month, like I said, you could use it as salt or sugar. So that's one way you can turn this into a shaker card. Another way you can do it is don't use, when you cut it out, when you have So it's going to cut out like this, right? And then here is the extra piece that you would add on top. So what I did, instead of die cutting into the margarita, I die cut onto extra paper, and then I popped that up on foam, and then I just filled it with shaker garnish with the, what is that one called? Cosmo. And now I have turned my shaker into not just a shaker, but also a 3D, I'm gonna hold it, a 3D card, or 3D, 2D, sorry. So you can see how you can use them with so many different things. So you could use it, like I said, just like this, or you could use it as an actual shaker like I did here. So here, what I did is I made it to a shaker, and then I filled it with shaker garnish, and then I just took my the regular white glue that we use with all of our crafting, and I just put white glue all over the top of it, like filled this whole thing, and look, it's not going anywhere. So I made it, the shaker is, I don't know, I guess you'd call it an inside out shaker. I don't know what you would call it, but it doesn't have, there's no plastic. Do you see that? So it actually doesn't shake. I just filled up the space, right, with whatever I wanted to put. So I turned it to an actual shaker. Then I turned it, I don't know, let's call this an inside out shaker. How about that? A faux shaker. There you go. And as you can see, I see how it just shows a little bit. Super cool. Then I did the opposite. So instead of, let me show you this way first. There's one here. So so this is what the tropical drink one looks like. So as you see, this was the inside of the shaker that came out. So instead of taking this out and then turning this card into a typical shaker, I cut foam and I stuck the foam back into the opening, okay? Into the opening, and then I had an outline that I could then fill the outline with glue, right? And then sprinkle the shaker garnish, and also there's some sugar or salt, whichever one you want to call it. And now I have the shakers totally different. And you can do this with all of them. I just, like I said, love margaritas. So this one, the shaker garnish is like sunken in, and here it's raised. And all I did was die cut it, stick the foam back into where I die cut, and then I used that to trace with glue, and it gave me the perfect little pattern. Super fun. All right. I don't know if I showed you guys this. And then here's another way. You can die cut your die, and then this is the excess, right? The trash. So what I did is I die cut it, and I die cut it, and then I die cut I die cut this, and then I die cut just the inside part with foam. Okay, do you see that? How it's just foam, right? And then instead, I cut another piece of this silver and I laid it on top of this part, and I made another little 3D like part to put on top of the shaker. Oops, to put on top. So now it's a shaker. It's not a shaker. It's a faux shaker. Isn't that fun? Yeah. And I like the inside out shaker. I do too. I think that's fun. So there's so many different ways, because when I designed these, I did not, this is my favorite one. I love the Cosmo. I love Cosmos with the little lime in it. I always ask for an extra lime when I get a Cosmo because I really like limes. Okay. So that's the margarita, right? But if you notice, what I did is this inner die is not connected to the outer die. So you can use them together, or you could use them separate, or like I said, it's completely separate or together, and it gives you all these different pieces. So you can actually use the trash like this. When I made my card with these, this is the example of either the wine glass or if you want to call it a tropical drink. And all I did was cut out the base of this. Instead of throwing away the trash, I popped it up on foam and then just layered it on top. And that's what I did with this card right here. So this is a huge card. This is a 9 by 11. It's huge. It's a big card, but I really wanted to make it like a rainbow, and I didn't even color the. I think I used no, I ink blended them because we didn't have bouncers, and then I misted them with. I pulled out all the different mists that I have from all the different companies and just misted them like crazy. And I did though have to go back. If you look at this one, if you notice, because I wet it so much, you see how it's like bent. I did have to go back and put a thicker piece of cardstock on it, so that way when I glued it down, it actually laid flat. So if you're going to wet this, you do need to back it with an extra piece of thick, like 110 pound, just regular cardstock. So you see how fun it is. And all I did was I used the excess, the trash, and then instead of putting the salt at the bottom, well, actually these are ice cubes, because those are the ice cubes that we have. Okay, so that was super fun. So that's margarita, and then we have a beer glass. Ta-da! This my friend Dawn also is like, please make me a beer glass, please, 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 please. And there you go. It's a beer glass, and it comes in 2 different parts because you can use the outer part, and I'll show you. You can use the outer part. Now, obviously, if I had cut this out of it when I did this, but you can use this just as a beer mug or a coffee mug. It doesn't actually, yep, or a root beer float. Good idea, Charlene. And then if you like, because there's 2 separate dies, you can choose to inlay this other piece. I know Sarah, when she made a card, or somebody did, maybe it was Hijong, they did this out of plastic. So it actually indented the little pieces, and it was just so super cute. And also alcohol ink. Hijong did a background and with alcohol ink with browns and stuff, and then she went and die cuts it and stuck it behind here. So pretty. We call them mugs. Yes. What did I call them? A beer mug, a beer cup. Yeah, we call them mugs. But look, it could be a coffee mug, right? I mean, honestly, you wouldn't even, if you don't die cut this out, it stays completely filled because it's 2 pieces. So it only turns into a shaker if you add this piece on the inside. I did one where they used paper, the snowdrop paper glaze, and they created it to make it look like it had foam on top. It was so cute, so cute. So that is the beer. Here is the cocktail, the tropical cocktail that I was showing you that I made all of these with. So here's one also that I made where very, very simple. All I did was die cut it. I put red cardstock behind it, some ice cubes on the inside, and little bitty strawberries with a red straw, and I was done. A suitcase. Yes, a suitcase. Somebody did say that. I forgot. Yeah, guys, this actually looks like a suitcase. Isn't that fun? Yep, it could be a suitcase. Very good, Lori. Okay, so I did make, and I did go a little crazy with all of these. So I did make a whole bunch of these because I was, testing them out. And this is an example of what I was talking about when I said I die cut the briefcase, the margarita, and then I stuck the foam back in it. Okay, and then it gave me an outline to do this with. Okay, so that's how I got the toppings to be just right, is I could die cut it with foam and then put the foam back in and then put this outline on it, and then I outlined the entire thing with glue, and then I filled it with shaker garnish or whatever you're using all over it, and just let it dry like overnight. Then went back and added, I think this is the salt or the sugar. So you can see that's all that was. All right, here's another one where instead of making it a shaker, I die cut it, and then I die cut the shaker element with yellow cardstock, and I sunk that in. See how you can see how it's sunken in, and then I layered it with limes, and then put these are actually ice cubes on top. So you see, I've been saving these forever, guys, to share them with you. All right, and then here you can see I made a typical little shaker with it. Super, super, super fun. Okay, so that is the cocktail. And remember all these see, this one right here, this is a toothpick that has a cherry, and this could be an orange or a lime or whatever you want it to be, a lemon. And that way, it's already on a toothpick for you to stick out your drink. I would just color it with Copics or something like that. Okay, now we have our beautiful lemonade, which you could use for a coffee mug if you like. This is super, super fun. I purposely put little bitty ice cubes. That's what these are supposed to be. A lot of the design team use these ice cubes with the other shakers as well. Because you can just die cut just this one piece like on white cardstock and then pounce some color on, because these cut out as little bitty squares that fit inside. I'm trying to think, what did I do? So this was my card that I made with the lemonade. And again, I just misted a whole bunch of ink. And actually, with the kit, do you see this? This has yellow cellophane in it. When we had the kit, I included some yellow, some colored cellophane within the kit. So I actually used it. You see how I cut some ice cubes out of, I die cut the inner piece, and then I die cut, all I had to do was die cut this inner piece with yellow cellophane, and it cut the perfect part for me to use on my shaker, as well as the little ice cubes all at one time. And look, I used pattern paper on the outside of this. Super, super fun. Okay. Then, so that's the lemonade or root beer float, whatever you like it to be, and different size oranges and lemons, because I just wanted to make sure we all have the right size. And a third straw, because you might want a longer bendy straw. All right, then we have, this is called martini shaker die. So you have an olive on a stick, you have the inner piece that can turn it to a shaker, and then you have a teeny tiny little cherry and a big citrus, whatever you like. So this one is really fun. Let's see, do I have some of these made? Oh yes, look how cute. I mean, so, so easy. And do you see this right here? See this? This is not the piece that goes with this. That lime was with the margarita. So all the little pieces that come with all of these, they all work together. So that is the martini shaker die. And I love Cosmo, so I made it into a Cosmo. All right, I have one more thing to show you. Well, more, but one more stamp die set. So yes, I love martinis. And that is a really good way to show you this stamp. This, guys, is the stamp that I made. This was not included in the kits. I made this just for this release, and it is called Make It Dirty, because everyone always says, make my martini dirty, make it filthy, whatever they want to call it, So these are all sentiments that could work. So let me read them to you. It says, let the good times roll. Rum is my passion fruit. I forgot how to say this. It's French for let the good times roll, which was the name of our kit. How do you pronounce it, Cindy? Le bon temps roulé. Les bâtons rouges. There you go. I'm only half Cajun French. The other half is Texan. Le bon temps roulé. And Sydney's laughing. Hush, Sydney. Then right here, Right here, this one says, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but who really cares? Right? So funny. And then this one says, on the rocks with salt is always a good answer. Obviously for margaritas, the islands are calling, or maybe it's the rum. I'm gonna lot this one. I'm telling you, I got this one from Jack Sparrow. What was his movies called? Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. You know how he in that movie he always says, "But why did you get rid of the rum?" And I thought, oh look, that would be cool. He's on an island. The islands are calling, or maybe it's the rum from the islands calling, right? Then it says, when life gives you lemons, call me. We can spike the lemonade. So instead of saying, when you have lemons, make lemonade, no way. Call me and we will spike that lemonade. Then we have, thank you for bringing sweetness into my life, because I did want to have something on here that we could use for our children, if you wanted to make them a root beer float or lemonade. And then we have, make it dirty. Cheers. And then the last one said, vodka called she's bringing a friend. I love that. And a die for each one. Yes. And this is the die. So this is a 4x8, but the dies are on a 4x12, because none of these would fit inside of each other, so they had to make it into a 4x12. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sentiments that go with all of them, and then the dies that also cut all of them. And guys, we have bundles on our website. Okay. And when you purchase a bundle, you get 10% off. So we did bundle these together with some other things, where if you wanted the whole thing or the whole release, because it's not that really big of the release, when you purchase the whole release, you get 15% off. And when you purchase a bundle, you get 10% off. Okay. So that's it for there's no stencils this month. I was a little busy, creativation and all that. That saying would be good with your island stamp. Oh, that's true. I do have an island stamp. So I'll show the sequence, Matt, by myself. I did go grab some dinner plates from our Airbnb because I wanted to make sure you guys could see. Okay, so let's start with the embellishment jars. Guys, if you've never tried one of our embellishment jars, they're a really good deal. Okay, because they're $6.99. You get more than twice, a little bit over twice as much as you do with one compact. That's either $4.50 or $5.50. So it's just up to you. We don't do all of our compacts in the embellishment jars. I picked the ones I think are going to be the most popular for that month, and that's what I turn into embellishment jars. Okay, so Matt's going to open those, and while he does that, I'm going to show you these. So right here, this is called Peach Bellini. And even if you don't want to use them to make a Peach Bellini, they're looking purple. Oh, there we go. Look, I did it. Look, can y'all see that? They're gorgeous. So this is like peach, pink, and gold. Different sizes. Oh, they're gorgeous. Actually, I have a friend who loves peach bellinis. I can't wait to make her a card. They're gorgeous. Then the next one we have are strawberries. Babe. Here, this is a compact, and this is a Sequence Plus. Okay, and this one, I'm going to look on the back of it, is called Strawberry Daiquiri. Because these could also be for a tropical drink or a daiquiri. So you can see here, they have strawberries inside them. There's green sequence, and there's also these tiny little white seeds that I put in here. And it kind of looks Christmassy unless you actually, you put it in something that's not Christmas, everyone's going to get it. This is one of my favorite sequins. They're mattes. It's like a shiny matte sequence. When I can get those, I always make sure I order tons of that because I love how matte they are. So this is Strawberry Daiquiri. Thank you. Now this one's super fun. This is called Banana Daiquiri. And I've never had a banana daiquiri, but I have sat through the Godfather movie so many times since I've been married for almost 30 years that the scene when he talks about, I had a banana daiquiri with whatever. So I thought that would be fun. And this one has the little fishbowl beads in it. It has banana slices. It has white diamonds. And they have yellow little Jimmy sticks as well as some yellow shaker varnish. So fun. Okay, so here's this. Matt's helping me. And then, okay, so one of my favorite color combinations is yellow and green. I love yellow and green. Love it. This is called Zesty. So here you have limes and lemons together because I thought we don't need a lime one and a lemon one. If we just put it together, then y'all could just pick out the lemons if you don't want them, or pick out the limes. And then inside of this, you have beautiful iridescent sequins as well in 3 different sizes because I'm always going to give you different sizes. Dawn says hi. Hello. He said hello. So beautiful. I love these little iridescent. Oh, they're just gorgeous. I know I shouldn't keep saying that because I make them, but now Jen says hi, Matt. Hello. Citrus Party. He says hello. All right, now hold your horses, guys. This one's exciting, okay? So this one is called Salt or Sugar Rim. All right, now in here, you have, let me spread it out. There's 2 things in here. You have these tiny little, it won't stay. This tiny, you see that right there? That is what I call sugar or salt. It's a tiny little, it's an irregular shape. So it's not round. So it's like an irregular shape. So it looks like it could be salt or sugar. And then inside here, if you wanted to add them together, these are some teeny tiny little white seeds. Do you see that? So you could either use them together or separately. I just thought that they really added a lot to the sugar or salt. So this is called salt or sugar. And it's so funny because when Sydney gets a margarita, she always gets sugar. And I'm like, ugh, sugar. And I am like, they said, would you like, no, I need salt. And please dump it in there twice, not just a half rim of salt. I need the whole thing. All right, so these are ice cubes. And they are called ice cubes. And they really truly look like they're like little cylinders of plastic that have been chopped. And Miss Debbie Lee says, hello, Sydney. Hi. Debbie knows Sydney from she was a little girl, and we would go to crops, and Sydney would help me work at them before we had PFS. So she's been my friend for a long time. So this is called ice cubes. And is that it? Nope. We have 3 more. Now, ladies, don't faint, but this is gorgeous. This is for my Cosmo girls because and now it's all hot pink, but there's some transparent pink sequence. Then there's some actual hot pink sequence, and then there's hot pink shaker. And it's so much of this. And, pick out some of those limes, throw it in here, and it makes a beautiful Cosmo. I love this one. Now we have a new gem mix. It has been like, I don't know, a year or so since we had a new gem mix. And guess what it is? It's yellow and green. Yep, yellow and green. And this is called lemon and lime. I cannot even read what that says. Cocktail mix, lemon and lime cocktail mix. So these are our gems. And if you've never used our gems, these are top of the line. These are the best gems you can buy before you start using Swarovski crystals. We spent a whole lot of time researching our gems, and we have, I don't know, like maybe 12 mixes. So there's green ones in here, and there's yellow, and there's 3 different sizes. So you get the teeny tiny babies. So you get a 3-inch, is it 3, 4, and 5? So 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters, and 5 millimeters. And look at the babies. I always sneak the babies. Look how little that little baby one is. I love the babies. They're just so pretty. So this is called Lemon Lime Cocktail Mix. And I think we have one more. And this is called, it doesn't have a label on it. What is this called? I forgot what this is called. Oh, I know. Pineapple Smash. I think that's what it's called. This is what I made to. Do you have an extra plate? Can I have a plate? This is the one I made to go with the pineapple. So I think it's pineapple something. It didn't have a name on it. And guys, I named these things months ago, so I don't remember. So here you have a beautiful pineapple mix. So you have shades of a little like iridescent light orange, some matte yellow, darker yellow, some beautiful bronze, a little bit of gold, and some clear yellow. We have these yep pineapple smash. Thank you, Dawn. So we have this one sequence that I can get in different colors, and they're clear, but they have a color to them, and they take on. So like if you add, so they're yellow, but when you add them to a mix that has yellow in it, they get darker. So they're like one of my favorite mixes. Do you see that little? It's right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a clear, and I use these a lot. Yes, it looks so good with the tropical pineapple. It does. And if you, let me grab her card again. If you see, did she use that one in there, Sarah? Yes, she did. So this is Sarah's card again, and you can see that she has used the pineapple smash inside the inside of her shaker. And you know, obviously, you could put these on the outside or the inside. Here's one that I did with the strawberries. And instead of putting the strawberries on the inside, I have little ice cubes on the inside and then strawberries on the outside. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, here, again, limes with, these are ice cubes. At the time, we did not, oh, I don't have the orange crush. That's the one that I don't have. It was the one that I put it in a compact, and it had oranges in it. Yeah, but that's it, but that doesn't come, that's it. Let me have it. Okay, so at the time when I made this card, we didn't have any orange. So I have strawberries, bananas, limes. But we do have another one, and another one this month, and it's called orange. Oh, it's called Mimosa. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you want this, you need to buy it, because I do not have any more oranges at all. See this little orange that comes in it? I do not have any more of these. So when this is sold out, it's sold out. And if you want the Mimosa one, I would order it. Again, it has, do you see those beautiful transparent, see that one right there? It's a beautiful, my favorite, one of my favorite sequins. They're transparent, but when you put them next to a different color, it like grabs onto that shade and does a really good job. The white ocean waves could be used for the, oh, what ocean waves? The white ocean waves could be used for the root beer floats. Oh, yeah. Ocean. Yeah, that's a good idea, Lori. All right, guys. So this is called mimosa. And we don't have much of it because, like I said, I barely had any oranges left. So I had to just, and this comes in a compact, not an embellishment jar. All right. So that's everything this month. That's how Matt asked me how long it was going to take. And I'm like, oh, about half an hour. It's been over an hour. So, guys, make sure I show you. Let me show you Sarah's cards again. Here we have a nice cold one. Here we have a million things. Then we have perfect for me. Let me know if you like this style of kitty because it's really not PFS at all. But I did want to test that because, you know, we all need to have different styles of stamps. And then we have her pineapple again. And I think that's everything. I think that's it. All right. Well, guys, sorry coming in late. Any new glazes? We do not have glazes being released this month. Oh, we have no new. We do not have new glazes or any mixed media new product. Oh, that's okay. You can tell me if the kiddies are not your taste. I asked. I would like to know. And you know, more. Some people like really realistic looking animals. Other people like cartoon looking. Other people like these like balloon looking kitty cats, and that's why I did it because I wanted to know if that style worked for our customers or if it was something that, you know, wasn't a hit, it was a miss. But design team did a lot of cards with them, so no problem, darling. All right, guys. So remember, bundles are 10% off, and if I didn't make a, we have lots of bundles this month. The whole entire release, it's a small release. Oh wait, that's true. Okay, thank you, Sarah. We do have a Lux this month. So before we get to depart, we released 2 months ago an 8-ounce jar of Arctic Fox, and then when my husband went to look for more jars of the 8 ounces, we never used that size jar, like rarely. And he thought we had about 25 boxes of 8-ounce jars, and we didn't. We had one. So we have discontinued the 8-ounce Arctic Fox and put it in a 4-ounce jar. So we will sell the Arctic Fox in the normal 2-ounce jar, which looks like it's gone. What? Yeah, we sell two. I know. We sell two sizes. We sell the 2-ounce Arctic Fox, and then now we're going to sell a 4-ounce. So, oh, Arctic Fox is our white Lux. That is our Lux is our super thick medium, mixed medium that is just infused with glitter and mica, and it is unbelievable. What should I put to find the orange fillers? I'm having trouble. They're called mimosa, or type in the word orange in the search box. It should come up. Anything else? Yeah, it's in the latest release. If you look, no more Mama Fox. Is that it? Okay. Not at home, so we have to make sure we ask. All right, guys. Well, oh, and if you purchase the whole entire release, it's 15% off. So bundles are 10%. Entire release are 15%. We did get some more rainbow pouncers in. We had someone, a customer, return about 40 of them. Just nothing's wrong with them. She just was selling them at a show, and I told her if she didn't sell them all, she could return them. So she sent 40 of them back. So if you haven't purchased the rainbow pouncers and you want them, there were 40 sets that we added today. We will have more of the neutral and more of the rainbow coming in this coming week, which, you know, is good news. So, all right, guys. Yes, got mine today. Awesome, Brandy. All right. I hope you guys have a good evening and you enjoy our release. And I hope you can relax and enjoy whatever beverage you like. Thanks, guys. See you later.